Did you ever observe President Trump receive a massage?
Never.
So that is a little bit of what has now been released of former personal Trump attorney and now Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche sitting down for an interview with Ghislaine Maxwell. We did not know if we were ever going to get access to the transcripts, let alone the tapes, but they have now been released. And you heard Maxwell there say she never saw Donald Trump get one of these quote unquote massages with Epstein. And the general tenor of these revelations is that she doesn't seem to have anything negative to say of Donald Trump, which is certainly a shocker for all of us. Now we're gonna move to the transcripts and give you all the different fun twists and turns and the spicy details. But Cenk, first of all, what did you think when you saw that they'd released this stuff?
Exactly what we thought was gonna happen. This is so dumb. It's just a stupid joke. It insults our intelligence. So, okay, the president's former personal lawyer, now a government official, goes to talk to the top, prisoner we have in the country regarding pedophilia and child sex trafficking. And she happens to say, golly gee, first of all, of course, she didn't do it. Nobody did anything. She never set up Prince Andrew or anything like that. We'll get to some more details in a sec. And can you believe it? Golly gee, she says the president had nothing to do with it. And then you're gonna be shocked to find out right afterwards, she gets transferred to a country club prison, like the softest prison we have, which is for someone convicted of child sex trafficking is extraordinary, never happens. I guess these were all just a coincidence. And Ghislaine Maxwell is such an honest person that I believe everything she says, including her saying that she's not guilty at all, and neither is Donald Trump. Okay, sure, yeah, useless.
Yeah. Isn't it ironic that all she had to do is say that he didn't get massages and now she's off in a resort getting massages? Actually, it worked out pretty well for her. And I can't say that she's lying. We'll never know. That's what Donald Trump did by acting so outrageously suspiciously. From the very beginning of this thing to today, he has made it impossible for anyone to just trust in a blanket way the talks with Maxwell, because we know how corrupt he is. We know how he uses the pardon power. We know who Todd Blanche is. That's what Donald Trump did.
And now, John, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in. So look, guys, I can't say that Trump definitely did it. I really, really don't know that, right? And there's evidence on both sides. But what I can say for sure is Ghislaine Maxwell's lying. She's a giant liar and a criminal and a crook, and they put her in a position where she'd be rewarded for lying. So of course, one of the worst criminals we've had is going to lie and then and she did get rewarded. So like, no, her testimony, or in this case, not testimony, but her interview with Trump's lawyer has no value, none, zero, total trash. Okay, and look, the whole point theoretically of going to have someone who is in a prosecutorial role in the Trump administration or any administration talk to this person who was involved in the rape of over 1,000 girls in America is that you're supposed to get information on who to prosecute. Okay, spoiler alert, or as my daughter would say, I'm gonna spoil the beans for you. Yeah, they're not gonna prosecute anyone, and they didn't get any information to prosecute anyone, and it doesn't look like they even tried. So they didn't go to prosecute the criminals, they went to try to make sure the criminals got off, whether it's Trump or not in that category. Certainly their number one priority was, Trump is innocent, right? Trump is innocent, right? Of course he is. Great, now you get to go to a country club, okay? And then, hey, do you wanna ask who should we prosecute? Oh, I don't know how to ask those questions. Oh, look at that, we are not going to prosecute anyone still, but we are doing investigations and we talked to Ghislaine Maxwell. Shut up. Todd Blanche is a loser, corrupt dirtbag who's a bagman for Trump and is totally lying to everyone. And so is Trump, and he's a giant waste of time. And he's gonna protect all the criminals. That's what Todd Blanche's job was. That's what Ghislaine Maxwell's job is. So it's a bunch of criminals talking to each other going, you're not gonna give up any information, right? Neither are you, right? No. Okay, great, you get rewards. So it's criminals talking to criminals, useless.
Yeah, pretty much the second they didn't appoint a special prosecutor to investigate this, independent, to go after the facts, like unabridged, uninterrupted, unimpeded by the current government and regime, we kind of just knew the fix was in. And as Jank pretty astutely just mentioned, usually when you go towards a criminal and you want their testimony, it's because they're gonna help you take down other criminals. It's not to be like, oh, can you like exonerate somebody completely right now who happens to have the power to like lessen your sentence, send you to a more comfortable prison. Like, it's so obvious what the quid pro quo is here. There's no credibility here. And I think, there are other people that love Donald Trump and they'll look for any excuse to exonerate the guy. And I'm sure this will placate them. But anybody who's looking at this in even like a semi-clear-eyed fashion knows that this is a joke. This is a dog and pony show. It's no different than the Epstein tapes they released where they're like, oh, 2 minutes are missing and it's not even pointed at the guy's cell. And there's obviously like 4 other camera angles that aren't provided. This is just more of the same crap, the more of the same obfuscation.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up too, because they initially said it was 1 minute and it's in there in every tape. It's just an automatic thing. And then we found out it's nearly 3 minutes. It's not an automatic thing. And then we found out nothing. That was a month ago. 5-6 weeks ago, nothing. No, we're just never gonna find out anything more about that. I mean, but to be fair, they've been so busy releasing the Epstein files that time, there was no time to look at the tapes. Oh wait, no, they didn't do that either. Weird. It's almost as if they don't want us to realize what's actually going on. We're gonna get to more. If we could just cue up the final video, the Trump video, we're gonna get to more of what she said because she made a lot of bold claims, but the tenor of our conversation has basically been how suspicious this all is. Well, Donald Trump was asked about this, about the files and everything. And his answer today, I think, was as suspicious as it's been from the very beginning. Take a look.
Releasing all of them?
Keeping it open.
If they wanted to release.
People shouldn't be hurt, but I'm in support of keeping it totally open. I couldn't care less. You got a lot of people that it could be mentioned in those files that don't deserve to be. People, because he knew everybody in Palm Beach. I don't know anything about that, but I have said to Pam and everybody else, give them everything you can give them, because it's a Democrat hoax. It's just a hoax. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax.
So again, it's a hoax. He doesn't care. I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to, for the 5th time, the 10th time, the 20th time, say, well, it's really important that innocent people don't get hurt. Because anybody could be in there. I mean, I don't want innocent people. He has expressed concern for the well-being and fate of anonymous innocent people over and over and over again. I've never heard him express any empathy for the actual victims of Epstein or for Maxwell. The victims who are even now going on TV and saying it is spitting in our face to send her to this minimum security thing, to give her this resort condition. Don't you care about us? We want to come to the Oval Office. We want to see you. Donald Trump cannot give one crap about that. He has not met up with the victims. He has not said anything in regard to the victims, but he always has this deep concern about who might accidentally get hurt if these files were to be released, Cenk, which I think is as suspicious as anything he's ever done.
Yeah, so I'm worried about innocent people getting hurt. Wait, you're not worried about the innocent girls who already got hurt. He's saying the good people in Palm Beach elite society could be named there. And those poor innocent people, he wouldn't want them to get hurt. Who's in the elite Palm Beach society circles? Oh, right, Donald J. Trump and all of his buddies. So he's concerned about the elites. Oh, I'm glad they didn't get hurt. I'm glad they just got to, rape those girls and get away with it. Yes, yes, yes. Why don't you just say it? And John's absolutely right. I've never seen him say one thing about the girls. One thing of like, God, that's terrible, etc. Even when he was pretending that he wanted the Epstein files released. Oh, outrageous, they're not getting released. He gets in office, don't release them, don't release them. Then he gets his lawyer to go down there and say, all right, tell her to tell everyone that I didn't do it. Okay, he didn't do it. I want full transparency. Yeah, I said release them all. No, your government literally said don't release any of them. We will never release any of them, and we will never prosecute any of the clients. That's what your government put out. Now you get this false testimony from one of these scumbag criminals who helped to rape those girls, and now you go, oh yeah, now I trust her. That's the criminal is correct. And you remember, we want to protect the other criminals. because we don't want anybody who's innocent among the rich and powerful getting hurt just because they got to have sex with those girls, So that's what I'm worried about. How do you not see it, man? The number one frustration I have with all of politics and news these days is blindness. And blindness applies to everyone. I mean, just look at the last year and a half. Democrats are like, Joe Biden's old? No, crazy. No, he's young and dynamic. And Republicans are like, Trump's a criminal who's hiding something? No, he's a con man who's constantly lies. No, he's for the average guy. Are you kidding me? Let alone the people who are like, oh yeah, Israel's genocide? I don't see it. I just see anti-Semitism. Everyone is blind. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, and I would just remind people again, and I've said this before, if the feds want to, like when they're really proud of the cases that they put together, they will do all kinds of Dateline NBC, HBO documentaries. They will walk you through all the evidence that they collected, what they found at the guy's house, they will literally show you everything. There's nothing stopping them from doing this. Like for instance, I'm somebody who's always watching like mafia stuff, right? Like Rudy Giuliani in the Eastern District of New York and their prosecution. You can watch countless of stuff on YouTube, different networks, where they're just playing you hours of tapes of these mob guys incriminating themselves. They're like showing you step by step. Here's a financial document that shows you they corrupted this union, they corrupted this thing. Like they will literally walk you step by step of all of the evidence of the cases that they've made and explain to you that, like, they'll be like, look, this looked suspicious. We couldn't get them on this, but there was this thing and there was that. Like, they do this all the time is what I'm trying to say. They do this all the time where they show you the evidence that they have to, basically incriminate people that they've gone after. They have no problem showing this stuff. So this idea that like, oh, there's gonna be innocent people, or oh, it's all just crap. It's just a cover up. It's nothing else.
I'll just quickly mention before we go to break, because we have so many other big stories, that she mentioned a few other things. She says she doesn't believe that Epstein killed himself, which I guess isn't necessarily what Trump would want the message to be out there as. She said she didn't do anything wrong. Okay. She said that Bill Clinton didn't receive any massages, which again, probably isn't what Trump would have preferred her to say, admittedly. Says there's no client list and Epstein did not work for an intelligence agency. Cenk, I don't know if you want to quickly respond to any of those.
Yeah, okay, whatever, yeah. So her dad is the biggest spy.
Her dad was a spy.
Yeah, her dad's one of the biggest spies in Israeli history. He stole America's nuclear secrets, gave it to Israel. The fact that we didn't, give him the death penalty is an absolute travesty of justice. He walked around scot-free on his goddamn yacht, bought American publishing houses, etc. Because Israel can get away with anything. So when she says, "Oh, don't worry," even though my family has a legendary history of being Israeli spies, and the Israeli prime minister came over to Epstein's house 30 times, and we had a giant map of greater Israel in the middle of Epstein's house, it has nothing to do with another intelligence agency. By the way, I don't think Epstein killed himself. Okay, yeah, all right, sure. It's absurd. I don't give a damn what she says at all. She's a giant liar, giant criminal. And last two things I'll say is, John, you mentioned that he's never said any kind words about the victims or any concern about the victims. He did have concern about one person involved in the case, Ghislaine Maxwell. When asked about her when she was first arrested, he was asked twice. First time he says, "Oh yeah, I'm worried about her. She's a very fine person." And so then they ask him a second time because they're like, "Mr. President, you just said one of the worst pedophiles in American history is a very fine person." He's like, "Yeah, I like her. He's a very fine person." And of course, to be fair, that's not the only thing he said positive about anybody. Before he said Jeffrey Epstein was a terrific guy. And he liked women just as much as Trump, but on the younger side. Okay, so even if Trump didn't do anything, he knew, he definitely knew. Now he comes around and he's like, "Oh yeah, that thing that I was complaining about and all of my followers were complaining about for 10 years straight, it's a Democratic hoax." Okay, come on. No, that's like a litmus test for IQ. I don't care about bias or blindness or anything. If you were a Trump loyalist who was flipping out about the Epstein files, rightfully so, by the way. See there, I'm unbiased. I agree. You should have been flipping out. To this day, they write it like, when I see the press writing it as a right-wing conspiracy theory that Jeffrey Epstein might not have killed himself. Shut up. That's not a conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory is that every prison tape has 3 minutes missing and the hallway camera doesn't work and the guards are off on the most important prisoner in America. And just trust us, bro, he killed himself. That's a conspiracy theory. So there's plenty that I agree with Trump's voters on in this story. But if you're a Trump voter and you say, oh, no, it was the worst thing I've ever seen, and now you go and agree with Trump that it was a Democratic hoax? Well, okay, I mean, you're just telling on yourself. I mean, you're saying I have 30 IQ points and I can't put together a sentence. So yeah, I hear you. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.